This is Bleeding Edge. We're on Xbox Series X taking a look at this multiplayer only title from Ninja Theory. We get a push towards a 4K resolution with HDR support. And yeah, not entirely sure about other specific visual details on this one. It has not received an optimization, which I think is a bit of a shame because this is actually kind of a fun little title. I don't know if it ever necessarily really reached its full potential in regards to gaining a great audience, for this type of experience, but I actually do find it a lot of fun to play. And I got actually all of the achievements in this one too, which was kind of cool. So anyways, with that, it is an Xbox Play Anywhere title. Buy it once digitally on Xbox or Windows 10 PC, owned in both spots. And it's kind of great because it's also available on Game Pass, and I am getting absolutely annihilated because I'm not the type of character that's supposed to be in the middle of the battle. So yeah, it'll always be on Game Pass as long as it's available. And it's kind of just an interesting, different sort of title that, I mean, if you haven't given it a whirl, you might actually find it kind of fun. It's got these really messed up, weird, quirky characters, a couple different game modes that you can play, and a selection of decent maps that I actually quite like. So the main issues with this one are really the element of the fact that it didn't have a lot of content when it launched. They've added some to it since then. But yeah, that was kind of a major holdback, is the lack of content in this one. You do get a lot of options for customizing your characters and stuff like that, and it's like a smaller budget tier game. You got to kind of remember that as well for this one, that it's not necessarily something that's like super large. It actually apparently was more of like a passion project, for the team that was working on it within Ninja Theory. So it was kind of a smaller thing that, the Xbox Game Studios kind of inherited as a title. So it's actually, again, kind of neat. I do like it. Every character has different moves, different abilities, and you all fit into different, kind of placements within your team. Like, obviously here I'm more of like a gunner. I'm in the back, not really doing a lot of stuff up front. And then, we've got healers, we've got guys that are more like tank-based, there's some like melee-type characters, and, they've got a great selection of different options that are present here, and it's kind of fun, battling away, learning the different abilities, and understanding how they all kind of contribute to your team during the battle, because it's kind of intense. I'm decent at what I do with my character here. I think she's kind of awesome. And just like so messed up looking too. It's just kind of a fun, quirky, weird, messed up game. That is really the most point of this one, is you just kind of battling along, trying to win. And it's just kind of easygoing multiplayer, because that's the main thing, is really, kind of giving it a whirl. Getting the community going would be fantastic. I mean, it only took like 10 seconds to find a match, so it's not necessarily dead by any means, and it is actually pretty late at night too on like a weekday. So I'd say this one is, doing decently well in regards to what it provides. It's also cross-platform multiplayer focused, so, that helps a lot as well. And I do hope that they maybe give it an optimization at some point. That would be quite nice. Obviously, with this not being optimized at the current point in time, which is a little, I guess you could say, disappointing. Oh, we're collecting the power cells. Oh yeah, that's always a blast. Okay, let's see if we can cause a little bit of mayhem with the big mech thing. Nope. Apparently we're going to get absolutely annihilated by a few folks. Oh wow, I'm getting absolutely torn up here. Let's see if we could do the nuclear Nope. Okay. They absolutely took it to me. But yeah, that's the dynamic of it, right? You get all these different characters with different abilities and different types of, combative options. Some are more sword-based, some have little guns, and I think they do actually a decent job of balancing the experience out. And like I said, I actually kind of find this game fairly fun. I do thoroughly enjoy what it has to offer. I like the style of the multiplayer. It feels fun and competitive. It just really, didn't have a ton of content, and I don't know if they've added a lot since, if they're really, kind of working on adding more. I know they added a bit right after launch, new character and stuff like that, some map options. It's just something that you can play, I think, a lot of if you kind of enjoy it in regards to, replayability, because it is just like a focused multiplayer game. And it does offer, again, a couple different modes, like ones where you're sort of capturing the positions, one where you're capturing, cells. They mix things up in a respectable way, I think, in regards to, doing something different. I'm gonna get burned alive here. Totally just spaced out. And there's a cool sense of movement on the levels too. Some of them are like have train cars that are kind of going along that you can jump on, and you know they can help you get to places faster, and they've got different aesthetics for the maps too. And it seems like this messed up dystopian world, which is sort of neat as well. Honestly, when I went to E3 back in the day before this one was releasing, it was like the only one I kind of skipped. I tried to get in on the last, because it was a small booking that year. They were only doing like small bookings for this kind of play stuff. Anyways, like I was saying, I tried to sneak into the last booking, but it was like really busy. It was a super popular game at the show for some reason. I was like, what? So I didn't quite get in. I think I slipped into a Ghost Recon Breakpoint showcase instead, so that was alright. But yeah, it seemed pretty packed at the event. I was just kind of like, I don't necessarily have the biggest interest in this one because I'm going to be doing like you know, the multiplayer sessions and stuff later on, so you kind of focus on certain things where you can get those like exclusive kind of showcase moments. And I don't think you were necessarily allowed to capture gameplay for it, because I was really trying to, you know, capture footage at that point for the event. That was the whole point of being there, really, was to do footage capture. I think I got a few games at the time. See, E3, you can get some really exclusive stuff going in, so it's kind of more exciting to show that off to more people that I have available watching stuff nowadays when I do get that kind of exclusive thing going. But yeah, it's just kind of a neat little, I guess you could say, historic kind of moment in regards to how I know of this one a little bit further than, you know, the initial releases that people might have seen and stuff. I just didn't necessarily hop into it and play it, which is kind of neat. But yeah, I do find it kind of fun. That guy looks different. I don't really necessarily remember the Portal guy. But yeah, it's also kind of neat because people will try to like run away, depending on the characters, because you don't move fast, right? That's the thing. Like, some characters are a little speedier, some have good ways to kind of hop along and get out of places. But a lot of the characters, you know, you're stuck until you jump on a skateboard and like a hoverboard and get out of the situation, right? And I think that's a neat mechanic of the game, right? Is that element where you can't instantly grab it. Oh no. Instantly jump on your board. You've actually got to like wait for the cooldown timer, and you can get knocked off your board really easily too. So that's kind of just a neat little extra part of the experience. I think I should get out of here because there's like a bunch of bad guys there. So I'm mainly waiting for the new area to open up so I can drop this stuff off, but there are a lot of bad guys that are kind of, you know, trailing me almost. Oh no, my healer is just gonna get absolutely decimated down there. Sorry. So I'm gonna go and try to actually drop these off because we are getting just pulverized in this match, which is not good. There's not another up place. Okay, so I'll have to go back here. I do have my ultimate, so I'm gonna kind of, you know, keep that going there. Oh, got the hearts. So as you can see with this character, I do have some, you know, customization elements going on, and then just to change them up a bit. But yeah, it feels a lot, you know, very smooth and stuff like that. I think it was relatively good on the 1X as well, which is where I did my, you know, review of this one when it released. That was kind of fun and frantic to cover. Yeah, it's great that Xbox is doing like these, you know, different options for games and stuff. It just keeps it kind of fresh. Yeah, that guy's shields were annoying. I remember having to do all the different achievements, and some stuff was just like, some of the characters are a lot more frustrating to deal with just because they don't fit into my, you know, particular style of play. I'm actually surprised this character does. I find that this character is so enticing because it's not my normal style. Like, usually I like to run in there. Sometimes I play as the guitar guy. Oh, they're running away. No, I've got my ultimate. Get back here. Get back here. Ah. Oh. Yeah, usually, sometimes I'll play as the guitar guy as an alternate and kind of do smashing things, but for the most part, they're going to get away. For the most part, I like to play as this character here. I think she's kind of fun. Definitely a little bit different. And I like her different abilities too, because I can cause a lot of issues for people by like setting up my turrets, sitting back just a little bit out of the action, and finishing people off that think they're getting away. Oh geez, and the bombs can come in handy too. But the other characters, you know, they got some good strengths to them. Good abilities. Again, it's just kind of a fun game with a balance of modes. You know, you've got the rotating rings. I find that one a little bit more interesting of like a command spot than this one, but you know, so they do have a good variation within it. Obviously, you can still find people. So, I mean, if you've ever wanted to give it a whirl, I think, you know, maybe give it a chance. You might actually find it kind of fun with some weird, quirky characters that you get to try out. I don't know. I mean, obviously, it won't be for everyone. That's, you know, just kind of a duh thing, right? But you might actually find it kind of enchanting, and perhaps you're just kind of like, you know, kind of towards it in the past. And I'd say give it a whirl. It's fun. Get that shot there. That turret set up and do a little bit of support here. See, like, you can really just annihilate people as this character if they're just not focusing on you. And they'll try to run away, and by then it's too late, which is kind of nice. Oh, the Roadhog person. Oh, jeez. Oh, no. I am not getting away. Yeah, I don't think my evasion is very high with this character. Nope. There's one that I'm really good at using to kind of like dip and dodge and get out of there. Because you gotta be smart, right? You gotta get out of the way, otherwise your character is gonna die. And you kind of want to sit back and support, you know, at the same time, because you don't want to leave your team at a disadvantage, really. Because when you're dead, you're at like a huge disadvantage in comparison. You know, he's still actively being there, shooting and stuff like that. And you could get health power-ups on the map too. You know, there's different options for that as well. And we're gonna get attacked by that Roadhog. I don't think that's their name, but you know. Ow! Oh no! Oh no! Yeah, I'm just screwed. Like, sometimes you get caught like that, and there's just absolutely nothing you can do if your teammates are nearby. Because it's the combined force of the team that does more damage than, like, the individual battling around. Our team just did not come together this match at all. Got, like, half their score. Not great, but it was kind of a good showcase of the game, I think. You know, a good presentation of it. Pretty quick, decently fast-paced, and just gives you an idea of how it's running and looking on the platform.